Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 201 for the week of November 4th. So we are in November now. I hope you all had a nice Halloween. We are moving into a different place. You just finished Module 4, 4.1, in which you were talking about humans' propensity for good, and whether or not humans have a propensity for good. And so I looked over the discussion, and it was interesting to see your comments. And I think I wrote in there about free will because that's coming up too. And I think an interesting turn that the discussion took was that some of you thought that while humans have a propensity for good, the question is, will they choose to do good? And I think that's really an interesting and valid subject to talk about. So now for this week, you are going to be able to talk about your thoughts about human goodness and ethics. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see where we're at in our class. Okay, so this is Module 4 on ethics, which we began last week. Now we are in Module 4.2, which is a journal. Okay, so this is why I wanted to do a screencast-o-matic video for you, because this is a little bit different. Instead of doing a descriptive essay or a critical essay, which you've done before, now we're moving the written assignment in a little bit of a different direction. Okay, so in fact, let me go back to, okay, so what you'll be doing now is to write in a journal. So I don't know if any of you practice journaling. It's a good thing to do. It's a good way to kind of process emotions and so on privately. But for this class, I want you to talk about the readings, the ideas in the readings, and how they apply to your life. Okay, so this is a little bit more personal, and I think it's an important part of anyone's study of philosophy because, you know, it's one thing to be able to talk about what Aristotle says and to kind of interpret that and evaluate, you know, what Aristotle or Plato or any other philosophy says, but I think we have to take it a step further and apply that philosophy to our own lives and think about, okay, what does this idea mean for me? Okay, so now you're invited to do that. Okay, but you still have to make sure that you base what you say on the readings. Okay, so again, just like I said last time, you know, don't go off on a tangent, just talking about what comes up in your mind. Okay, make sure you're talking about the readings. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, so here's our overview page, which of course you are looking at. And here are the objectives. 1, discuss the implications of the theories of ethics presented in Module 4.1 to one's life in a journal. 2, develop one's own theory of ethics in a journal. Okay, and so that's the next step, is to develop your own theory of ethics based on what you've read. Okay, so your activities, you're going to want to review both of the texts that you've read for 4.1, so that's Mencius and Aristotle. And then you're going to complete Module 4.2 journal. Okay, so then you hit your next button. And, all right, there is the assignment. Here is the rubric. All right, so you're going to be evaluated for accuracy and completeness. How accurately does your response answer all of the questions using details and or examples? Clarity of writing. How clearly is your essay written? Are there spelling or grammatical errors? How well does your response apply the reading materials to your personal outlook? Are examples from your own experiences included in your response? And so this is something that students have trouble with. I think it's hard to reflect, right? So students tend to want to write at a distance about these readings, about the ideas in the readings. And so what I'm inviting you to do is to take these readings and write personally about them. Okay, so those are your criteria. All right, and then here are the instructions. Hopefully they will come up soon. I probably should have had this. Okay, there we go. So here we go. So this assignment asks you to be self-reflective. This means that as best you can, your response to the questions below, take what is said in the assigned readings and apply those ideas to your own life by discussing situations and circumstances that you have experienced. It is appropriate to use I in your journal assignments. In fact, it is encouraged. Your response to each of the following questions should be 1 to 2 paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences in each paragraph, written in standard English. Spelling and grammatical errors should be eradicated from your journal when you hit submit. Okay, so here's your question. How do you determine what you ought to do? Describe your philosophy of ethics. Which of the readings in Module 4.1 is most similar to the beliefs that you hold about ethics? Explain why the reading is more similar to your beliefs. Okay, so again, you have to ground what you say in the readings. Okay, now this is fun. I gave you a little extra here. Invitation to use illustrations. You are invited to include up to 3 visual images in your journal response to illustrate your written journal. Visual images may not substitute for your written response. Okay, so if you're going to give me visual images, that has to go with your journal. You still have to do the written part. The written responses to the questions in your journal assignment are required whether or not you decide to include visual images. Visual images may be images of your own hand-drawn pictures or photographs. All images must be in file formats, which I can open and that are clear to see. Any image taken from the internet must include a source stating from where the image was retrieved. Okay, so that'll make it kind of fun. Wait, let me go back to, okay. So a little bit of fun you can have with this, all right, but still you got to do the written part, but you can also include images to help illustrate your thoughts, okay? So this is a different assignment. You've not done this yet. If you have questions about this assignment, contact me ASAP, okay? The due date, what is the due date for this? Let me see here. Hang on. Oh, shoot. I can't see. All right, hang on. Let me look. Let's look together. The due date is November 8th. Okay. All right. So that's what we're doing. I better stop this recording because it's getting long. I hope you all have a good week. And I'll be working on the discussion you did last week. And that's it. Just have a good weekend. I'll talk to you again soon. Okay. Bye.